then where do you go with the knight?
Yeah.
Wherever you go with the knight, there's always this trick of check, discovery, and also getting the queen afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Petrov is one of my early openings when I started playing chess, Yovi, because specifically because of this trick. I know I'm a cheapo.
No, but that's the way the UK kids are also taught chess. First, you learn the cheapos, and then maybe 20 years later, you finally learn some lines.
Yes.
And okay, but obviously, Black was not going to fall into that trick, so instead, kick back the knight, and only then capture the pawn in the middle of the board.
Yes, and interestingly here, we know that the main line would be d4, and then Black would continue with d5 and so on, bishop d3 or knight c3. But here, Magnus continue with d3, knight f6, d4, and if Black replied it with d5, we no longer have Petrov, but we have the exchange French. So what a transposition. So I don't know what Magnus has in mind because okay, in this position we see so many other examples as well. If you want to have a game, you can play this variation knight c3 where you can just trade in like this and then with the possibility of the long castle and then attacking in the king side and something like that. But Magnus chose to play this d3. And then now Black is thinking.
Yeah, Black is indeed thinking. And yeah, you're right, Irene. You know, of course, Black could play into an exchange French. But there, I have to say, in the hands of a very talented player, White does have some dangerous options. Like, for instance, it's not entirely equal because White has that freedom of that extra tempo, you know, can get the pieces out. And the big plan, of course, is putting a knight into the center of the board. So relatively quiet things. I don't think Magnus will be too displeased with what's happening here because the position is very much something that suits his style.
Wow. Our world number one has so many styles, Yobi.
That's true.
Even if he starts with A3, it suits his style as well. So, well, I'm just going to be very excited and which line that he's going to employ in this exchange French. Oh, by the way, we've been talking about exchange French, and we're talking about if d5 was happening now, it's just total exchange French. But let me show you how it gets there via the order of moves. So e4, e6, d4, d5, then you can just simply take on d5, and then after knight f3, knight f6, and there. Okay. Yes. So you want to show which one, Yovi?
So if the king goes to f4 and say Black
Bishop
moves
somewhere,
some random place, and maybe not there, but maybe it's
it's too random.
It's too random. Then it could be 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
d7.
yeah.
7, so it's guarded, right?
Check here.
Yeah. Okay, so now
Where does the king go?
if the king goes on the 8th row, then queen to d8.
Yes,
It's just a
queen
killer,
to
so
d8.
you have to go to king g7.
King g7, and how winning is it?
Yeah.
No.
This is the big question. How?
Check here. It's a win.
Yeah, and now the king goes to
Where? It's the
f8,
mate.
and then you
And-
go.
8 and queen
Queen
d8.
d8,
check.
yeah.
Ah,
Okay, but then in this case, the bishop can go to c6.
Okay, if c6, then maybe we can go after the bishop. Where was that? Knight f6 before this. Here, yeah? Okay, king f4. If you go here, then I give a check.
Six,
And if
check.
this one,
7, knight h5.
then maybe knight d5. Check.
Ah, right, you are. Knight d5 and you win.
But after king h7.
Ah, king h7 is still there.
But now you go knight.
We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy, but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. has gone and come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride.
And then see again.
Wait a second. So double check. Let's try double check again. So double check.
Double check here.
King F8.
No, King F8.
King F8, yeah. You can go Queen D6, but then King G8, right?
Yeah, and then
No,
knight
but
F6
then-
and then take on C6, yeah? Here, and then
And now
knight
you-
F6
and now you
then
check.
take on C6 after that.
No, guys, you just check. You just check on D8. So
Oh,
instead,
with
oh,
the
it's a
knight
mate,
on
it's a
H5,
mate. Yeah,
right?
The knight on
yeah,
H5.
Right,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so
Yep.
Queen D6 is a forced checkmate.
Queen D6, yeah, it's still a
It's
checkmate,
after
yeah?
This, it's
Yep.
yeah. So there is a threat of checkmate after all.
Yeah, it's checkmates everywhere. So eventually, the queens have to get exchanged, but it's still also a losing endgame for black. So yeah, knight D7.
And he can't do...
Is there anything else? I think Queen D1 has to be played anyway. King E3 here. And Queen E2, does it work? There is King F4, and there's no more check, maybe?
Yeah, there is no more check. No, it's just...
there's one final move that we can try, which is queen takes instead of king. When the king is on E3, you can take queen takes
trade the
B3.
queens. Yeah.
Queen takes
B4.
B3.
Yeah, queen takes B3,
Okay, King F4.
and now king F4. So you can go F5.
F5.
But isn't it like still a checkmate? Not F6, King...
Yeah, knight F6.
So wait a second. Yeah, it is a checkmate, right?
Yeah, there's Queen A7,
Six.
or Queen D7, sorry. Queen D7. He
Yeah,
played,
you get checkmated.
after knight D7, he played Queen D1, and then Magnus replied immediately with King E3. This is the current position.
No, it's absolutely winning.
Okay, queen takes.
Trades.
Queen
four.
takes
Trade
B3,
the queens.
so King F4 will be played.
Queen B3. So bishop is...
What about queen to D1?
Back, yeah?
good bishop.
Here, it has to be knight F6 check.
Yeah, and now you
King
can go.
H8.
And now you can go king H8. Or even king F8.
The queen moves back somewhere.
What happened?
I have no idea.
He
Oh, bishop C6!
played bishop C6.
Just like
and
what
then
this we
Ah.
discussed. Yeah.
He's getting checkmate.
He's getting checkmated, yeah.
He's getting...
So knight F6 is on the board, and King G7. Okay,
we said
knight H5.
5 double check.
Yeah.
Well, technically he can go to E8, give a bishop with a check and continue, but it doesn't make sense. 5. F8 is strictly only move, not to be checkmated in 1. Yes, and then
Yes.
Queen D6 is the key.
Yeah, I think the king has to go now to F8, yes. And now Queen D6.
So
And that will seal the deal.
yeah, well, with choice Queen D1, the game could actually go on. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if White's still winning by, say, moving the queen somewhere.
Yeah,
It was
there,
worth a try, yeah?
I'm just looking at that right now, and the queen can go to E5 once a check has been given on F6. So, and the players,
And he might resign now or allowing the checkmate, do you think?
he's going to
Yeah.
resign now. and Magnus Carlsen takes the point. And he is now on 2 points out of 3. But it was a really instructive game there from Magnus Carlsen. The way that he just nurtured that small advantage and just kept on maximizing his chances and also posing problems to his opponent. But what an opportunity, what experience it is to play the former 5-time world champion.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there was a moment with Bishop C6, you know, when Black was trying to bluff White, but instead he got bluffed himself. Let me pull it up. So not this Bishop C6, the other Bishop
After
C6.
Knight F3.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, Bishop C6 is perhaps like forced win.
Yeah, it's a forced win for White, right? G5 and then winning
Obvious
the P6 pawn. Yeah. Yeah, after Queen D6, Queen takes P6, and then it's just a free pawn for Magnus. Yep. So well done for our world number 1, and he is now on 2 out of 3.
Speaking of players on 3 out of 3, so who do we have? We have Erigasi.
We have